Hi, everyone, and welcome to Spotlight in Business by GTApreneurs. I have the pleasure of introducing to you today, Charlene Day. This is one amazing lady. She's had decades of experience helping clients in all different areas of health, and she's going to tell us more about her today. But I'm so excited to let you know that she will be the guest speaker for our next big networking event. If you haven't registered yet, go to our website for Wednesday, May the 12th at 12 o'clock to promote your business, meet other entrepreneurs, and hear a great presentation from this lady that you're going to find more about right now. So welcome to the show, Charlene. How are you doing today?
I'm doing great.
Perfect. Glad to see you again. And I did a big announcement with your title there, but you do so many things. So can you take us through your education and your different titles you do? Like, what are all the ways you help your clients? And we have a few minutes, so just go ahead. You can tell us.
Okay, well, I help basically physically, mentally, emotionally, and spiritually because my background education covers all of that. Because one of the kinds of coach I am is an ontological coach. And what that actually means is actually taking in the beingness, the whole person, and making sure that all aspects are dealt with. And that I find is very important because we're more than just a physical being, right? There's a lot to us. And so I have to address all of it.
Yeah. And that's actually interesting because, typically what we do is we separate into, see this one specialist for this one thing and this specialist for this other thing, right? And oftentimes that's what happens. It's not looked at as the overall person, and maybe some things are missing.
Yeah, and I don't like to leave anything out. Plus, I'm somebody that gets to the cause of whatever is going on. And sometimes that cause isn't going to be so apparent, but through the different forms and questionnaires and talking, I get to find out what is really going on. And eventually we'll unearth what is the real cause of whatever is going on with somebody on a physical level.
And what are some examples of reasons people would see you, things that people need help with?
Well, it can be anything from headaches to digestive problems to bloating and belching and like all those digestive problems. And
one likes belching. From either direction, right? From either
yeah.
Okay.
And so there's all sorts of physical things that happen with the physical body that are uncomfortable for people. And it can get right in over to arthritis, heart disease, cancer, all those disease processes when things get really out of balance. And because I've got almost 5 decades of experience, I have dealt with all of those as well, because, I have had clients that show up that couldn't get help anywhere else. And so I was able to help them. And I'm very happy to say that I have probably 4 or 5 people that are completely cancer-free after working with me. So
that's amazing.
To that extent, I can go, but most people don't get to that place. They are just dealing with little problems like headaches or whatever, digestive challenges, overweight, and they come and see me for that, because all of that can get changed if you do the right changes. So I help you find what that right change is so that you can start having a totally healthy, full of vitality, wonderful day-to-day life so that you're able to function and not have to feel like, oh my God, I need a rest or whatever is, holding you back. So
exactly. Yeah. So then I imagine, do you address like some different types of mental health conditions like anxiety and depression and things like that?
Oh yes, because that is again part of the physical, mental, emotional, spiritual aspect. That we will, a lot of times things will show up in our thinking, and that's some of what I'm going to address actually next week in the talk. I'm going to address that part because that's really crucial part of our whole health, because what we think about comes about. And I think a lot of people need to get reminded about that part as well. And so I will be addressing that in next week for sure.
And that's good, and because the mind is a physical thing, right? Like oftentimes people, it's hard to understand, right? And that, right, how I can't really see it, right? Or my emotions, my thoughts, I can't really see them, but the brain is a physical mass, right? And brain chemicals, so different chemicals in your body, they go around in your brain, and everything else, blood and everything goes around in your brain. And if you look at an MRI of a person, for example, who's like, happy, or someone who's like experiencing depression or stress, you can physically see the differences, right? And so then, it's something where thankfully these days more people are talking about it. People are okay to mention this is something common people experience, that there is solutions, and there's non-medication solutions, right? Which is, I think, it's something that you really advocate for.
Yes, I'm somebody that really works with the non-drug version of health. You're getting back to health. So I have all sorts of, I'll call them little feathers in my cap of things that I've learned over the years that are the non-drug ways of getting healthy again. And there's so many, so many. And that's how I will approach whoever wants to work with me, because I just find that the liver gets way overloaded if you have too many drugs, and not a good idea. So I will do the drugless method of healing with people, and I've been very successful for, again, almost 5 decades doing it that way. So it works. It's
and that's impressive, right? Especially with the cancer. So, like lots of people, they try all kind of things, right? And they don't beat it. I mean, I imagine, like, every case is different and stuff like that. And maybe some are just completely not treatable. You know what? It's just, if your time is up, your time is up, unfortunately. But, there obviously are, several different types of cancer that, you can do a natural, healthy way. And to me, I hope I don't get cancer, because I've had enough issues in my life that I don't really want more, but like, I would rather do something natural than take chemo drugs, and then you're getting side effects from that, and you feel like, garbage and stuff like that. So if you're able to provide that for people out there, then you know what, give Charlene a call, whether it be something as serious as cancer, or, for you or your family, or, heart disease, previous stroke, right? Or preventing a stroke, if it's, especially if it's in your family, depression, anxiety, overweight, you want to be losing weight, and overall feeling better. You said, headaches. I mean, migraines. A lot of people have migraines too. So
and a lot of people don't understand that migraines and weight gain actually are different reactions to foods. The reactions, and like the weight is usually inflammation, and people don't understand it's actually inflammation. And so we need to get to the root cause of what is causing that inflammation. And so that's what my job is. I guess I'm a detective, really. So I find out through the different questionnaires and talking and asking questions, what is going on with people, what is the actual root of what's really going on.
Well,
and
that's exactly
the root. Then we're good, because then we can get rid of it.
Exactly, right. And otherwise, everyone's just used to using Band-Aid solutions, right? So here, take this medication. That's a Band-Aid solution. Now, mind you, there are some conditions that, yes, you need medication, absolutely. But absolutely, right. But you know what? There are a lot of other ones that, there are natural ways to do it, and medication is just a Band-Aid, right? And then you get other side effects, or maybe you just do some fad diet, right? And you lose all this weight, but then it's not sustainable, right? So, forget about this, just kind of treating the symptoms of stuff. I think getting to that root cause underneath is what can have the lasting, success.
Absolutely. And I think more and more people are turning to what used to be called the alternatives, but I think it's now becoming more mainstream to do it naturally.
Yeah, exactly. And that's preventative as well, like not waiting until you're at the point where, if you don't get the blood pressure medication now, you're going to have a heart attack, right? So it's kind of like, you got to watch that, right? And start getting on the path now of preventative medicine, and if you do have something, you can reverse it. Like I was a personal trainer for 13 years. So between exercise and nutrition and changing lifestyle and that, I had many clients that they got off their blood pressure medication. They got lots of weight improved, right? So you can do it naturally, right? But
Absolutely.
that's right. So you know what? But see, Charlene, first, everyone's got different medical conditions, different goals, different situations. So you want to be getting a professional assessment of
Yeah.
going into your particular situation. So it's not like a one size fits all,
Right.
scenario, right?
Right.
It's custom tailored approach. Exactly. So that's the difference, between Charlene Wright and maybe trying to just do something on your own. Oh, follow this fad diet. Well, you know what? Okay. Tell me how that works out. And then how many fad diets have you done in the past, right? Or whatever. And, have they worked or not? So, but yeah, I'm so excited to hear your presentation next week. And I know this is a big topic in that, right? So we'll just kind of maybe mention a little bit, but right now, one of the biggest issues is not getting COVID, right? Not getting COVID, right? And so you say a lot of it about the immune system, right? So, can you tell us a little bit more about the immune system? Like
Well,
what happens? Here's
that's
your book. I know, yes, you wrote books. You wrote books, right?
that,
But what does that mean? People don't even know what exactly does the immune system mean. Like, what is it? What is it made up of and stuff? How does it work?
the immune system is made up of biochemicals, hormones, organs. I mean, it's basically covering our whole body, and it's a communication between all of those that happens first when we're born innately, and then this is what's crucial: acquired immunity. And right now, we're being stopped from getting acquired immunity because of all these masks and everything. So we actually, if before all this COVID stuff happened, you actually grew up with an innate immune system, which worked without being exposed to anything else. And every time you were exposed to the measles and the mumps and this and that, as you grew up, and even all the different colds you have had and all the flus you have had, created an immunity on top of the innate immunity. So that's the acquired immunity. And that's really important. And I'm a little dismayed that we're not being allowed to have what they call herd immunity right now, which is that acquired immunity around this, because that's really crucial. That's how our immune system knows what to do and how fast to do it. And it is possible to yes, it's going to be a bad flu, but I know a lot of people who have come through it just fine because they had a strong immune system. So that's the project for all of us, is keep your immune system strong, and then you will be able to, your body will be able to handle anything that comes its way, because there's other viruses out there besides COVID right now. Like just every year, there's always thousands of them. And when you are exposed to them, that's when you develop the immunity towards them, because there's all these little cells in there, B cells and T cells and what I call memory cells, that are going to remind your system, oh, we've already seen this one before. We know how to handle it. We got an amazing immune system.
Exactly, but I mean, and this is just such a, even it's sad that it is a controversial topic, honestly, right? But people, they don't know what to believe, right? They don't know what to do, but personally, I do think masks make a lot of sense. But at the end of the day, like, masks are not 100% either, right? So whether you're wearing one or you're not, right? Or the main thing is to have the strong immune system, right? Just for that, just in case, I know for me, like, I haven't gotten sick in ages, right? Because I do all the different things that are necessary to keep my immune system up. Right. And this is why it's great what you teach people, because you know what, you can be as cautious as you want. You can wear masks, right? You can socially isolate, right? But maybe you just, if your immune system's down and you just happen to be at the grocery store or something like that, right? So something could happen, and whether it be COVID or whether it be the cold and flu or whatever, the state of your immune system is going to make the difference between whether you get sick or you don't get sick. Right.
Right.
Like I know one lady too, right? And she was in the car with someone, she didn't know they had COVID, right? It turned out later on that she had COVID, and they were with no mask on in the car for whatever time, but she never got it, right? Because she does a lot of immune system boosting things, right? It's not to say that people, do your own thing, right? If you want to be, social distancing, masking, that's great too, right? But the biggest thing you can control, no matter what, is your immune system, right?
Exactly.
And so exactly. Yeah. Right. So now, can you just give us kind of some quick ideas of a few ways that people can help with your immune system?
Well, first and foremost, I guess, is sleep.
Yeah, I'm good at that.
Making sure you get the right amount of sleep. The reason I bring that one up first is that's my challenge always, is like making sure I get the right amount of sleep. And then, of course, eating well. So the best way to talk about eating well is it going to go bad? And eat it before it goes bad, right? Because in other words, eat lots of fruits and vegetables, and make that predominantly part of your diet. And if you really focus on that, then that really makes a big difference. And of course, the mental part, in other words, laughing, being with friends, hugging, having social contact, which we're not supposed to have. All of that supports our immune system, because it's all. I mean, just look at before all this happened, the way that we were, right? And that's what keeps us happy when we're social beings, and so we love being with other people. We love hugging and being in community, and that really supports our thinking and our immunity, and so that's another thing to see what you can do to work around getting out into the parks, getting out, exercising and walking, and thank God we're coming into good weather so we can do that more. And but all winter I just did my treadmill. So in other words, you can exercise even in the winter. So
Yeah.
you find a way to do it, but keep the exercise up, because that's really important. And so just keep an overall rounded version of, sleep, eating well, exercise. I mean, it's the things that you all know what to do already. And if you have challenges with that, then come to next week, because I'm going to talk about how to deal with those challenges if you're having challenges getting any of those things into your lifestyle. So
Yeah, and I mean, there's so many different ideas about what does eating well mean. What does that mean? So it's good to, next week to people to come and they're going to hear a lot more details, because there's so many things on the internet. You can go on there and it says, oh no, don't eat gluten, like don't eat carbs, or, and then, but yet fruits and vegetables are carbs, right? Or, cut out this or cut out that or whatever, so people are just confused. They don't really know what is the right thing to do, and so it's going to be good to hear from you and to get some more specific details, right? And of course, these are still going to be general. People still need to book a one-on-one consultation with you to go into more detail with their medical history and everything else, right? But it's at least going to give everybody some good overall proper guidelines, like from a scientific perspective, not just from like a person trying to sell a book, try this bad diet, right?
Right. Well, that's one of the reasons why I really insist on having a one-on-one, because everybody's so individual and so needs something different from the person that you're sitting beside or across from or whatever. And so we need to find out what your body is looking for. And everybody, it's different, totally different. So, yeah.
Tell me a little bit more about this ontological coach thing, because a lot of us, we know, okay, yes, exercise, stress, nutrition, these are things which are going to be great, but that extra thing you do of the whole being, like, can you tell us just a little bit more about that? What does it look like and stuff? And how do people know they need it?
Well, we're going to get into the metaphysical, because it's a metaphysical term. We are more than the physical. And basically, with most people know the word soul or spirit, and we are that kind of being. And yes, we have a physical body, but we need to really address who we really are. And I do that in a few different ways, because I work with something called the Enneagram, and which is another way to actually find out what's going on a soul level. And so there's different things depending on what people are looking for that we might delve into around that kind of coaching. But depends on what people's issues are when they show up as to where we go, which direction. So
exactly. Yeah. And that's what I believe as well. Like, to me, I think that like we are the spirit inside of our brain and body, right? And your spirit, is here, and then your body, your brain, this is the car you're driving basically,
Right.
right? Whatever kind of brain you're born with, whether you're good at math or you're not, or your whatever abilities you have, or this is the body that you're born into, right?
That's our vehicle while we're here.
It's a vehicle, right? So then, a lot of people, they're too scared maybe even to get to know themselves, right? Or you've been hurt before and stuff. And most of us have been at some point in our lives. So to have someone that you can go to help figure that out, so you can be a whole person. It's not just, okay, yes,
Right.
I got lots of muscle. My body is so fit. It's great. Because you know what? A lot of people look, they're really fit, but you know what? They're not happy, right? They're cancer free, but they're not happy, right? So you know what? My philosophy is that, you only live once, so you better have fun is technically like my motto, but it's about being happy, right? If you're not happy, what's the point, right? But a lot of people, they don't know how to get there. And they can do these external things. Okay, I'm going to make more money. That'll make me more happy, right? Or if I get a bigger house, make me more happy, right? But getting down to that root of who you are is huge. And it's a big part that's missing from any other program out there. Yeah.
Yeah, well, I definitely make sure that that's addressed if people are open, because again, not everybody's there.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah. Absolutely right. Yeah. So, I mean, for people who they just want to be addressing strictly, the physical, right, with the nutrition and that, right, and obviously the brain is still a physical thing, even though you want to improve your health, your anxiety, or whatever, it's still a physical thing, right? But yeah, people just want to do that. That's fine. But if people, sometimes it is the root cause. Like I had people that spend a lot of money on personal training. I did that for many years, and that, right, and the one that just like, she just wasn't losing weight. She had a lot of weight. And it turned out that she was severely abused before. And she was afraid if she lost the weight that her attacker would find her, right? And he would harm her again. But this is at the risk of her health, because her health, because of her size, right, was holding her back. So, it's a whole, thing. So whatever, people you're looking just to get the knowledge, right, to get you on the right path and stuff like that. Or if you need to go deeper and to look at the whole situation, then it's good that you offer both those types of service.
yeah, because for that lady, that was a protection for her, right? And that
right.
was her way of feeling protected.
Yeah. And even though that way was, potentially long-term harm, right?
Right.
Yeah. But it's a self-defense mechanism.
Exactly. Yeah.
Well, look, there's so many great things we could talk about, Charlene. We could be here all day, but you know what? We don't have time because we want you guys to come out next week to our event. So Wednesday, May the 12th at 12 o'clock, come out to see this fabulous lady. Come out and give your elevator pitch because we want to learn more about your business, meet the other entrepreneurs, exchange phone numbers and emails, and get to know each other better. And we will see you then. So thank you so much for coming today, Charlene. It's a pleasure to see you. And we will talk to you again soon.
Okay, you're welcome. Look forward to next week.